Okay, and we're live. I just did some stuff behind the scenes to mess with and configure this microphone. So this is going to be by far the best sounding episode that we have had to date. I'm very excited about that. It could potentially be the nicest looking one too if I get around to color grading, but part of me just thinks that that's not going to happen. But it could, it could. Very excited to be here today. Always very excited to be here. A little bit, I wouldn't say less or more excited than previous times or moments. Let me write the time down. It's 10:26. So 11:27, I'll be done. And that's actually, I'm a whole hour in front. So that's actually pretty awesome. I am a whole hour in front of where I was yesterday in my routine. Yesterday I got home from work around who knows when, and I ended up finishing this episode around 12:30 at night. So, I finished it a lot earlier today because it's only an hour long every day, and at 11:30 I'll be done. I think that I want to go out tonight. I think I might go downtown. I'm not a big fan of downtown. I have to say it's not really my place, my thing, but I do have fun when I go. Yesterday night, I saw someone I haven't seen in so long since high school. Love that guy. And it's good to get out and go see things. It really is. Even if it's I think I don't really want to go downtown. Okay, let's get into the meat of today. At work today, I was doing my thing, working. We'll talk about all how work went and how I closed and everything later, I'm sure. And I have a story for you guys. After work, I did something pretty interesting. But before I get into all that, I want to say that I was in the office. I do the money at the end of the day, and I'm counting the cash and putting a paperclip on it, and I'm kind of zoning out. Actually, this might have been midday while I'm sitting in the little office with the chair because I was just tired. I was beat. And I look, and I'm reading, right in front of you, there's a piece of paper with everyone's names and their phone number. When I started working at Jersey Mike's, in the first week, I was paired up with this girl who, I thought at the start was going to, help train me because I was brand new. But then come to find we were both brand new, and neither of us knew what we were doing. And I thought she was very pretty, and I was like, this is awesome. This is such a good reason to come to work every day, to see this girl. And then she quit. Literally the next day, that was the last time I ever saw her. So one and done, one shift and done. And I saw her once in the library, a week or a month later. And I was like, oh, that's her. And she walked past, and I didn't run up and say anything or anything. But as I'm sitting there, I read her name and her phone number, and it's crossed out. She doesn't work there anymore. But I can still read it, and I'm like, I should send her a text, right? And my phone's dead. My phone died. It was at 1% when I got to work, and it died immediately. I still haven't plugged it in, so, I should probably plug that in, but this is how dedicated I am to this podcast. I'm not going to plug it in. I'm going to wait until the hour's over. A family member could have died, but simply put, I'm keeping it real. So let's continue to do so. Because my phone was dead, couldn't do anything. But I decided that I am going to do something. And what I'm going to do is write out a message that answer me this. Let's get into some weeds here. So you have a girl's phone number that you want to text, right? And it's past 9 p.m. Do you wait until tomorrow? I think the answer is yes. Longtime listeners will know that this isn't the first time that I've written and sent a message to a girl on air. And last time we did it, it didn't go over so well. No response. So this time I think I want to wait until it is daylight, until it is sunny outside, until it's not nighttime. So then that brings the question into picture. Is this something that I pre-write? Well, there's two sides to this. On the one side, writing and sending this sort of thing is extremely nerve-wracking, right? And I think that having something pre-written that I can just tell myself I'll put into the phone and click send saves a bit of time and a bit of whatever. Yeah, I'm not going to pre-write. Okay, let's say, this is what I want to say. what we're dealing with here, flirting and girls and stuff, it's weird. It's weird because it's like one of those bottomless things, and I think you'll find that many things are bottomless, right? And when we deal with bottomless things, it's easy to continue to dig, and I think it's not giving up, or it's not like a lack of progress if you just take a break from digging. You don't have to dig all the time. You can simply walk away. So I'm not going to explain why I'm not going to write the message right now. I'm just going to say I'll probably have my phone charged, and I'll probably shoot her a text when I'm at work tomorrow. And that's just because I don't feel like, doing anything right now about it. So I'm at work, and the phone rings. Ring, ring, ring. I pick it up. Hey, this is Jersey Mike's on Hillsborough Street. How can I help you? And it is a customer, and I can tell right as they say their name that we messed their order up. So I'm listening with my eyes squinted, and they door dashed, and it didn't come with their drink or their chip. And I'm like, shit. I remember the name. I remember the bag. I don't know if I wrapped it or if my coworker grabbed it. It was just me and one other person all night. But whatever the reason, it's a mistake, and I feel bad about it. So I say, okay, no worries. Where do you live? And she says her address. I write it down, and then I say, all right, I'm going to bring it over to you. So sorry, the drink and the chip. And we're very, very busy at the time, very busy. And I turned to my coworker. I can't leave the store with one person. That is bad. Even if we're both on the clock, I can't be the one to leave if there's just two of us. But my coworker, I was going to send to go drop off her stuff. And she doesn't have a car, but I was going to give her my keys. She doesn't have a license. So then I'm like, dang it. Now I have to call this girl back and be like, I can't give it to you right now. Like, I'm sorry. And I'd say about 20 minutes, 10, 15, 20 minutes passes because we were slammed. So many people, so many DoorDash orders, so many people in line, and it's just two of us, right, with our running around like crazy people up there. And so I finally get to the chance to call her back, and I call her back, and I say, I can't bring it to you right now. Like, I was going to send my coworker, but she doesn't. I don't know what I said. But then I said, can I please give it to you after work? And she was like, sure. So I even remade the sandwich for her, and I gave her an extra trip, and I even threw in a cookie. So I brought it to her after work just now, and turns out she lives pretty close to me. So, yeah, and it was pretty eventful because my phone was dead, so I kind of had to memorize her, how to get to her address, and I did, which is pretty cool. Pretty proud of myself for that. But yeah, that's all I really want to say about that. If you're affiliated with Jersey Mike's and you know me and you know work, you're probably thinking, or just even not, you might be thinking, why the hell would you do that? That's so you should have just apologized on the phone and offered a refund or something. I don't know how to refund. I'm not even sure we can refund. I don't even know if that's within our power. I have to talk to someone. I haven't been taught that yet. And B, that's just I don't know. When someone I immediately that's within my power to do, and I know how I'd feel if I got my food delivered and it didn't have the drink or the chip. So I just immediately was like, I'm gonna give it to you as fast as I can. I'm so sorry, and I did, and I think that was the best way for me to do it. I probably would get in trouble with my boss because I did that. I'm definitely not supposed to deliver, especially because I did it off the clock. I did it after I got out of work. But it's not about work. It's about I don't know. That's just what I did. So that's my interesting story for the day. And now it's 10:36, and I'm completely bored and done with this episode. This is how these things go. If you are a regular listener, you'll know that this isn't a very riveting podcast. I'm not I don't know. I don't have a crazy lifestyle. I don't have like but I'm good. I think I am good at talking, and I think this is a really great thing, and I'm glad that I'm now beginning to do it daily. What I'm not going to do this episode is write the title card while I'm on air. I've in the past I've done certain things while I've been live, like multitask, I guess, and that is a no. It's kind of like if you're working at Jersey Mike's and like you touch stuff without gloves, or like you close before 9 p.m. No. So no-nos are important, And now, okay, let's talk about last night. Last night I went downtown. That's all well and good, and you love it. You love to see it, hear about it, whatever. And let's see. I was really excited to go, super excited. And it's funny how, like, sometimes you go, like, people will relate to this, I think. You're getting ready to go downtown, and you have this expectation for the way the night may go. And you're just, like, so totally, like, stoked. Like, you're like, this is going to be so awesome, so much fun. I cannot wait, right? And then you get down there, and it's like, oh, where am I? And you're like, I kind of just like want to go home. So then you go home. Does that happen to anybody else? It happens to me. And it makes me interested in why that happens. Am I too excited, or I have too high expectations? I think maybe. Yeah, my expectations very well may be too high. Do I think like, what is it? What's going on with that? Is it worth thinking about? I'm not sure. I am not sure. I really need to contact a lawyer. I have court coming up, and I need to get it dismissed or something. I don't want to go to court, but I very well may have to. I wonder. Yeah, so now we're doing a podcast. I'm excited to send this girl a text. I thought she was so pretty, and I was excited to keep working with her, and then poof, gone. I'm going to say something probably along the lines of like, yeah, why? Okay, now I'm interested in it again. Now I'm interested in it again. Okay, what will I say? I will probably say something along the lines of like, I'm not going to write it down. I'm just going to think. Something probably like, you want to keep it simple. And with this case, they're all edge cases. Every case is an edge case. There is no playbook. There is no rule set. Apart from, of course, just like being polite and I don't know. There literally is no playbook. Like every scenario garners different accepted reactions and actions. So truly, there is no starting point. So let's make one. Now, in this particular scenario, we met in a brief afternoon in an interesting place. She may or may not even recall me. Now I'd imagine she does. So there's two sides to this, right? I'm coming from the side of like, now I'm like thinking and meditating on, not meditating, but like planning on this, right? Like I saw her name, I remembered her all of a sudden, and I was like, you know what? Her number's next to her name. Why don't I send her a text? And by the time I send her that text, I will have all this thinking under my belt, right? And I don't want that thinking to influence my message in a bad way. I want it to go towards good. So what I want to say is very brief. I don't know what I want to say, but I know I want to keep it brief. I also am wondering if I want to make a call to do I want to tell her, hey, so, okay, I'm going to have to introduce myself. So let's start at the beginning of the text message. I'll probably say, hey, this is Jack from Jersey Mike's. Now the question is, do I put after that, like, okay, I think she'll remember me. I think she'll remember me. So I'm going to say, hey, this is Jack from Jersey Mike's, and leave it there. Next, I'm going to say, what do I want to say? What do I want to do? What do I want to, you know what I'm saying? Interesting. What do I want to say? What do I want to do? I think I don't want to. Now, we've talked about texting before. We talked about how I feel about texting. So I think what I want to do is I want to break away. I want to try and immediately call to, like, I'd like to blank with you. That's not text. I'd like to. What should we do, right? I was at work and I was thinking, like, oh, maybe I have, like, Hurricanes tickets. That could be something cool that I could invite her to do. That could be I think that's a good, like, when you're, I think that's good because not everyone has that to offer. She may or may not have even ever seen them. And if I was her, I'd be like, that sounds awesome. Yeah. And I won't, of course, I'm not going to be like, I think I'm going to leave it open-ended because narrowing in on the activity already is like a narrow action. So let's leave the date or when very open-ended. Like, so I'm going to say, hey, this is Jack from Jersey Mike's. Oh, and now I should say, I'm not going to say, like, how she knows me because I think she'll know me, but this is kind of what I was thinking of, and I was thinking, like, I should say this. I do need to include how I got her phone number, because that's kind of like, I think, like, like the cool guy in you wants to just, like, send the text and be like, oh, dude, she likes me, bro. Like, she won't even care. She'll just be grateful to get the text. But you got to blend it with the cautious guy that's like, you don't want to freak her out. Like, you don't want her to be like, hey, yo, like, like, why are you contacting me on my home phone number? So on my personal number. So how did I find it? I found it in the office at work, and I'll be writing this text in the office at work tomorrow. So what I'm probably going to say is like this. I'm probably going to be like, hey, this is Jack from Jersey Mike's. I accidentally, yeah, because it was an accident. I was just looking and I saw it, It's not like I was like, I've been thinking about this girl since the very day I met her months ago. Time to do some digging and see if I can contact her. I did not do that. I did not do that. So, but you know what's weird about, like, love and love stories is, like, there's, like, totally, like, people that have been married for 50 years were like, that's exactly how it started. Like, it's so strange because it's like this. It's like when you shoot a shot in basketball, it's so weird how it's like either you make it or you don't make it. And not making it, or, like, if you make it, it doesn't matter where you shot from. I don't know. Fuck the analogies. Let's just get back to let's get back to what this text is going to say so we can stop talking about this because I'm starting to get uninterested again. This is maybe my problem in love. I don't think I'm too mature yet, and I think with maturity comes the ability to stay on certain tasks for certain amounts of time, like to be calm and consistent in your thought processes. And I think sometimes I bounce around so much, it might be hard to take me seriously, Dang. That was pretty, that was a reach. I just got myself there. Noted. Yeah. So yeah, let's calm down and finish this text verbally. So I'm going to say, hey, this is Jack from Jersey Mike's. Accidentally stumbled across. Is that corny if I say stumbled across? I don't think so. I'm going to say, oh, well, you don't want to say accidentally stumbled. That's like a double. Accidentally and stumbled accomplish kind of almost the same thing. So you don't want to double down on that because then it's like you're not confident enough. So I want to say, hey, this is Jack from Jersey Mike's. Stumbled across your number in the office. Yeah, stumbled across your number in the office and thought I'd invite you. But the problem with these Hurricanes tickets is I have to explain that I have season tickets. Hey, this is Jack from Jersey Mike's. Stumbled across your number in the office and was wondering if you'd like to go see a Hurricanes game sometime. Yeah. Yes. 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 Because I don't have to. Yeah. I don't even have to. I don't even have to. Like, there's no need for me to. It's kind of implied. Like, I don't think someone would ask someone that they don't know unless they plan on covering both tickets. I don't need to explain anything. All right, we finished. Yeah, so let's talk about all the reasons that text is perfect. It's very brief. It accomplishes everything it needs to in just 3 segments. It introduces who I am. It lets the receiver know that I know who they are. It explains how I was, it'd be no different than like you run into someone at the supermarket and you were like, hey, this is so funny. Like, I'm just in the area. You know what I'm saying? I don't think this would be Is this part necessary? Is this second necessary? No. I think receiving a text like that, hey, this is Jack from Jersey Mike's. Would you like to go to a Hurricane game sometime soon? I think that might be too brief. Or is there such thing as too brief? Like, I don't know. Do I want to get rid of that second segment? What does the second segment accomplish? The second segment, I think the second segment is a little bit like what does it do for me? What is it like? What does that do? I think the part where I say I stumbled across your number at work, does it? Interesting. This is very interesting. This is very, very interesting. I guess it's slightly strange that like I'm planning out that part of the message because I'm not sending the message right now. It's weird to like plan that sort of thing out, but that's just the nature of text. I don't think it's necessarily weird. Yeah, I think I'm overthinking it. I think I can sit concretely with the fact that all 3 segments are good. Yeah, this is what I'm realizing now. I think what I was about to do, which was like put on my like shades and be the texting girls doctor, where I'm like, all right, this is why this is perfect. Listen up, all the men out there who want us to text to the ladies. This is how you do it. Can I just explain it to you? I have the skills to pay the bills, so let's go break down this master text that I just this master text that I wanted to use the word concoction, but it doesn't fit. I don't think it fits. So yeah, that's what that is. That's what that is. I think it's good enough. It's good enough. Not that it's good enough, but I think that I did a good job and I'm satisfied with it. Yeah. So we'll write it down. I'm not sure that this is the exact thing that I'll type. I might feel differently tomorrow morning. I find that does sometimes happen, but it might also be the exact thing that I type. I'm going to say, hey, this is Jack from Jersey Mike. And I just earlier said, like, I don't want to be double texting. I don't want to be double multitasking while I'm on the podcast, but please forgive me. I don't want to forget this. Well, I'd be fine with forgetting it. So should I just stick to the not double multitasking? Yeah. Well, let's make an exception, guys. Let's make an exception because this is something that I'm not, like, this particular thing, eventually, like, I won't be, I don't know. I move, like the purpose of me doing this multitasking would be to move towards a place in which I no longer have to multitask on this anymore, because the only thing that would like lead me to do that would be a problem that is now solved, which is like I will be in a relationship. But it's the principle, right? Like you don't want to. I think if I write it out really fast, it'll be okay, and then we can just move forward. Hey, this is Jack from J Mike. Stumbled across number. Yeah, I'm just gonna write it like briefly. Hey, this is Jack from J Mike. Stumbled across number hurricane game? Question mark. Yeah. Sweet. I wonder if it'll work. Yeah, I thought she was pretty. And I liked, what did I like? I liked that she was, why am I like embarrassed to say this? I liked that she was like small. I liked, she had blonde hair. I thought it was really pretty. And she was really quiet too, which, I liked her. You know, it's funny when you like someone, it's like, it's funny when you like somebody, like when you have a crush on somebody, you can pick out a trait that they have and say, I like this person. Like they say whatever they're thinking, you know? But then on the other hand, you can not like somebody and you can say, I don't like this person. They just say whatever they're thinking. Like, isn't that interesting? Isn't that so interesting? It shows how complex a crush is because it goes beyond like numbers and words. Like you can't really quantify love. You can't like put reasoning behind it. It's just like you have to discuss it to no end to make any progress on understanding it. And I love it for that. I love things that have that trait to them. And honestly, literally anything can have that trait. I think as a person, you choose what you're interested in. And when you find an interest, it's like you make it that bottomless pit. Now, there is a moment or this is so much fun. This podcast is so much fun because I constantly bounce back and forth from like, I know everything to I know nothing. And it's like, I think through this podcast, I'm like finding out what I do know, you know? I don't get any I'm wondering like, when will I start to get comments? When will I, like an hour every day forever? You know, who knows how much longer I'll keep this up. So if I continue to keep it up, like, guys, like, let's be realistic. Like, this totally fills a need for very many people. There are totally people out there that A, wouldn't mind me, and B, are certainly like maybe on the lookout for something that comes out daily of this length. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is totally like something that will fill the internet's need. What I need to do is I need to start putting it out on Instagram. I need to start linking this because I do it for an hour every day. It's substantial. It's as good as it gets. I think I'll do one more thing to solidify me feeling proud enough to put this on the internet, and that will be color grading. Because right now we have the perfect audio. This is the best that any episode has ever sounded because I actually Googled this mic to computer interface. It's called a Focusrite. I bought it. It's a Scarlett 2i2, 3rd generation, I believe. And I bought it and I plugged it in and it worked. And I was like, okay, whatever. But there's all these buttons and knobs on it that I never touched. The names are like select. Then another button's called 48 volts. Then another button is called INST. Then you have auto. Then you have safe. Then you have air. And it's like, what do they do? So I just never touched them, right? But right before I turned the camera, after I turned the camera on, right before I started the actual episode, press record on the mic, I went on Google and I said, Focusrite 2i2, what do the buttons do? And the answer was right there. So I read each definition of each button, and now I actually don't know what 48V does. I think what 48V does is you know what? I might want the preamp in. Hold on. Can you hear me at all? Okay, I wonder if this sounds better. If you're listening at this moment and you just heard an audible change in the audio and it sounds better, comment down below, because I just flipped a switch on my mic. I swapped it from blank to blank. I swapped it from plus 28 dB decibels, I guess, to plus 18 dB, and the plus 18 dB is next to a label that says built-in preamp. Sorry, it just says preamp. I don't know. Also, though, there is the... Oh, but I have no idea, because the switch next to it says bypass, and I think what I'm bypassing would be, of course, the built-in preamp, and I have it switched to... bypass, and I think if I flip that switch, the mic will turn off. But I don't imagine the mic turning off would stop the recording, so we'll just test that out really fast and see. Because I paid more for these mics. A preamp is supposed to make me sound better. I see, that's like a super low IQ definition. Like, I don't know what a preamp is. I just have this idea that it might make me sound better. Like, I should learn more about it. You know, I paid for money for it. I should learn more about it. So I'll flip the switch and we'll see if you can not hear me anymore. Testing. Oh! Interesting. So you can still hear me. Huh. You know what's funny about that? You know what's funny about this? I wonder, okay, now you can put in the comments, do I sound better? I wonder if I do. Should I go back to 28 decibels? What's the difference? Should I Google it? What's the difference between 18 and 28 dB on Scarlett? No. On Shure SM7DB. AI says on the Shure SM7DB, 18 decibels and 28 decibels refer to the amount of gain. I'm just assuming dB stands for decibel, but it might not mean that. Amount of gain amplification you can add to the microphone signal, with 28 offering a greater boost for quieter sources, while the 18 is suitable for louder sources or when you want less gain. I think I'm pretty loud. So I think I'll stick with... Wait. Which one was which again? Chat. Did I X this out? Control-Shift-T. 18 is suitable. Yeah, okay. I'm going to stick with 18 because I think I'm a pretty loud guy. But we do have the preamp. And you know what's funny is I think a big reason why the preamp wasn't working earlier is because I didn't have this 48 button pushed on the audio interface. And when I was, okay, I need to work on calming down and speaking with more purpose, speaking a bit slower and speaking like I have actually thought about what I'm going to say before I say it. Because I always do, but I just don't want to get the production line all jumbled and messed up. I want to keep a clean and nice factory, and I want to be very in tune with the words coming out of my mouth. So what I want to say here is, as a callback, when I was going on Google and Googling the buttons for this audio interface, I found out that the 48 volt button allows phantom power to come through the XLR to the microphone. Now, I believe that means that it enables the preamp, the built-in preamp within the microphone to function because the preamp requires said phantom power. And with that definition, I am out of here. Drops mic. All right, what should we talk about, guys? This is a really fun episode. I'm having a really great night. Should I go downtown? It's a hard decision to make. I think I am going to go downtown because, like, I just want to be around people. As much as, like, as much as it's true that once I finally get around people, I'm like, I hate this, bring me home. I want to be where the people are. So I'm going to go. And when I get there and say I hate this, then I'll go home. I bought a bicycle today, but I didn't actually get it. I bought it from a really good friend of mine, Tanner. And Tanner, if you're listening to this, I know you're not, but if you are, isn't that crazy? What's up? Shout out. And I am stoked to get it. I paid for it today, but I don't have it today. That's kind of disappointing. I was hoping that he'd pull through and come deliver it, but He didn't. Maybe if I plugged my phone in, I could send him a message like, can you come now? But, I don't think I'd take that bike downtown because it is soaking wet. Or maybe that's a good time to take it downtown because it's a good break-in moment for the bike. But I'm not gonna. I'll probably just drive. I need a new tire on my car. So here's like a list of the things in my life that like totally need to happen from most important to least important. I need to contact a lawyer, most important. I need to take my car in to get its tire fixed, most important. While I'm getting the tire fixed, I should take it to Subaru because it has a bunch of lights on the dash. Now, let's be real. I could just take it to a tire pro and ask them to disconnect and reconnect the battery because that's what my roommates say is the reason all the lights are on. I took it. See, these two things are actually related, the lawyer and the car lights. The reason I have a court date, the reason I got a ticket is because it snowed in Raleigh, North Carolina. And that's every once in a 2-year occurrence. See, just then, and I stuttered, and then every once in a, that's not proper English. If I could just take a breath and think about the current moment that I'm in and how much I am privileged and honored to be in front of this camera and talking to this mic, I would do a better job speaking. And that's just a cycle that I want to get going. Because imagine the doors that might open if I can conquer becoming a better, more thoughtful speaker. So back to it. It only snows once every 2 years in Raleigh. So I take the car out and I put in my mind destination. Well, to begin, look, it's not just about like your mouth. To become a better speaker, it's about your mind. You kind of have to unravel the moment. Like you have to let go of a lot of things. And it's like, what are those things? What are the things within your mind that are making you speak less? And I don't even know how to define what less means, or I don't even know what word to put after less in that context. I just know that I feel as though I'm speaking less because there are times in which I feel I'm speaking more. If you follow, interesting, because I'm not sure what I'm saying is very concrete. I think it's very abstract. But effectively speaking, being a good speaker, I think a lot of it is wrapped up in brevity. You want to convey emotion and you want to convey, I think it's just emotion. I think you want to convey emotion effectively. And to do that, you want to keep it as brief as possible. So rewind about 5 Mississippi, now 10 Mississippi, to when I said about. That was a filler word. The muscle memory within my brain kind of just threw about in there. I was talking about I can't even remember what I just said, and that's a problem. I mean, what was I talking about? I said something like what did I say about before? I know like the thing, what I'm talking about in a general sense, but what was the exact string of words that I said when I threw that filler in? I'm not sure. And when I stutter, there's really no need for it. I once had a boss in my life that was a big stutter guy. And spending time around him, I actually found myself stuttering the same way that he did, which is very, very interesting because you wonder like, it's very interesting. Huh. This is difficult. Now, this is difficult. I think okay. So, like I said earlier, sometimes my attention span can be rather short. And when I'm with people in person, like my friends and such, and all of a sudden I am conscious of the way that I'm speaking, I immediately want to improve my speech and my voice, the verbal aspect of my person. So what I do is I go silent for a bit and I think. And then when I speak, I keep it brief and I stop speaking. But that doesn't necessarily, well, I mean, it doesn't hurt, I guess, because I'm actively thinking about it. But in this scenario, I'm actively entertaining a large audience. So you've invested time, you've clicked on this, and you still haven't clicked off because you're listening to me. You might not be listening to me. You might if you've already, I don't know, if you very well may already have gained confidence in me. And if that's the case, you might not even be listening anymore. You may just have this on in the background, which, may I say, that's a big privilege to be on in your background. I'm honored, and I hope that I can continue to do what I do that has led you to make the decision that you have, because thank you. If you're actively listening, that is crazy, because that means that you are, you very well may be driving, you might be walking. I highly doubt that any of you are actively listening and watching and just sitting still. That would be kind of crazy, because this is very low tier when you compare it to all the other things that demand your clicks and your attention. When it comes to media, there are so many options, and it is such a crowded medium. But so is everything. I think human beings are very good at everything. I think everyone wants to be the one person in something. So I think across all industries, talent does sort of find a medium. I think whether you choose to, put out a 1-hour podcast every day, so that, I think whether you choose to want to become a YouTuber, or if you choose to want to go in construction, you're going to find the same challenges. You're going to find the same roadblocks, and you're going to find the same sort of people, and by that I mean, I guess that's if you're like me. And I think maybe more what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter what I put my time to. It's going to be just as challenging no matter what I do. And that's just, I guess, because I'm me. And that, I think that led me to choose this, to take the path consciously that led to this moment right here, because I thought that, I know that whatever I do, I can be great at it, but it's just going to take a lot of struggle and a lot of hard work. So then it's like, all right, step 2, choose what you want to do. You're 20, you're 21. So how about you pick a thing? Actually, when I started this, I was 20. Oh my God. I've been doing this through a birthday. Wow. I'm coming up on my second birthday while being on the internet. How cool is that? That's so cool. So that means this birthday, I get to include a clip of me from last birthday. That is so awesome. Maybe for this birthday, I'll sit down and dissect the entirety of last birthday. That could be cool. Maybe I could try and tell a story. You know what I mean? Storytelling is a big part of this industry. The most successful shows and the most successful, the ones that are most successful can tell stories the best. And that is such a broad thing to say. It's like speed is, but don't you see, it only seems broad to me because I am doing this, and I see all the different ways that you can tell a story. To someone else that doesn't do this, I say that storytelling is very important in this industry, and they probably think briefly. They think am I a good storyteller? Yes, no, move on. It's so fascinating how it's so fascinating. It's like people need to realize that they can literally do anything. Anybody can do anything. If you're listening to this and you're kind of directionless, you spend a lot of time doing nothing, and you don't really know what the future holds for you, you really should know that whatever you want to do, you can do. Think to your values. Think to you, think to your experiences, and think to your hands and your mind. What is it that jackkadis does? And let it sink in. Let yourself be immersed with the question. Don't be too quick to grab onto anything. It can feel like you're skydiving, but I promise you there is no ground. You're never going to slam into something. Just keep falling. Keep falling and feel the air. Feel the air. Because when you finally find that thing, you're going to be able to reach back there and pull your parachute. You know what's funny about these analogies that I give sometimes? I always think they're good. Whenever I make one, I'm always like, yeah, I'm cooking with this, and I continue with it. But it's like, they could totally just be ringus dingus garbage. Like, they might just make no sense to anybody. Let me try and think of one that makes no sense. Have you ever wanted to be really good at a sport, and you go and you practice every single day? It's like taking this is the problem. The problem with this is that I'm immediately thinking, hey, this analogy is pretty good. It's kind of like you're taking the bus every day. You get on the bus and you get off. When you're on the bus, what do you think about? When you're off the bus, what do you think about? How does it feel to step on and step off? Be aware. Awareness will take you far in your sport. How does it feel when you're off the field? How does it feel when you're on the field? What are you thinking about when it's the middle of the game? When you step off the field, what does that feel like? Be aware. It's like, dude, I just cooked. Like, I couldn't make but then again, it's like, was that good? I think so. I think that was great. But what makes a bad analogy? Okay, let's dive into this, because there's no way I'm going to leave this at that. I'm not just going to be like, I am not just going to be like, yo, let's try and make a bad one and then cook and then be like, oh, dude, I guess I'm just like destined for greatness. Like, oh, well, whatever. The task was to make a bad one, so damn it, we're going to try again. All right. Let's do, what's the first thing? Like, what's the thing that we make an analogy to? Let's do unloading the dishwasher. Okay, unloading the dishwasher. Think about unloading the dishwasher. What is like so far removed from unloading the dishwasher? But be careful, because just because you pick something far removed doesn't mean you can't find a good analogy for it. Let's take a step back. Let's do the sink, because the sink and the dishwasher are very connected. So let's do unloading the dishwasher. Let's make an analogy to unloading the dishwasher. What is an analogy? It's like or as. Okay. So, like when you're unloading the dishes and you're taking the dishes out, it's like scrubbing the inside of the sink. When you scrub the inside of the sink, you go back and forth with your hand and you make sure it's clean. You clean the sink, as one would take dishes out of the dishwasher and place them where they need to go. I don't know. I think we should do one more, but we shouldn't reverse the thing that I did where I said, actually, let's pick something that's related. Let's go unrelated and then do continue. And because I think like maybe I cooked, but not really. Okay, let's do, just because this is the stuff that I can see. Let's do telephone. I can't see a telephone, but I was going to go with air fryer, but I'm going to stick with the telephone because it's farther away from the dishwasher. So, telephone. We're going to go the act of picking up the telephone, like the next activity is hiking. And just then I'm like all my thoughts kind of go to like, oh, when you pick up a telephone, like you actively choose to embark. And then when you're hiking, you're walking down a path and you actively choose to embark. But that's an analogy. A good one. And that's not what we want. We want a bad one. So let's stick with these two things, the telephone and the hiking. So what aspect do you want to tie in and connect with the like to the telephone? So with the telephone, let's do dialing a number. Dialing a number on the telephone, like drinking water on a hike. But is that an analogy? Okay, wait a minute. I'm having a mind breakthrough. Analogies can neither be good nor bad. It is not like there is no, like, for example, a tall glass of water, a tall and full glass of water. There is such thing as a bad tall and full glass of water, one that is not full. Do you understand? But when you say the word analogy just refers to a comparison using like or as. Or is it comparison or a I don't know. It's been a while since I've been in an English class, but a joining of two subjects using like or as. So by nature, you cannot have a good or a bad analogy, because to have one, you would have to define good and you would have to define bad. And that is tedious and strenuous and really makes you want to back up and not say this is a good analogy. Because what do you mean when you say good analogy? You should just say analogy. If I can stick to this, if I can remember this brain breakthrough, then I will be a better communicator. Because what do people think that I'm saying when I say, oh, dude, I love making good analogies? You know? Like that kind of, it makes me sound stupid to a trained ear, because it's almost like good in that sentence means the same thing as I love to. And that is, as the one example I found earlier when I was writing that text, that is an unnecessary use of wording. The same message is conveyed and accomplished through only saying, I love making analogies. You know, like if I wanted to amplify it in that way, then I could say, I love making analogies, and then I could say it again. I really love making analogies. Like that, or maybe just add the really, like, you know what I'm saying? Like start with the beginning, like start with the I love, because it's like, I'm talking about how I love to make analogies. Good is simply put not a necessary word, and it honestly inhibits my ability to communicate effectively. Wow. Guys, am I the most genius person that you've ever heard speaking your entire lives? Now I got to balance that statement out, or that rhetorical question out. I have to balance it. I'm not in school right now. My parents have set aside money for me to attend school, and I'm literally not in school. I'm working at a fast food joint. There we go. I think that balances it out. All right, we're getting to the end, so I'm gonna meet a dead end with this topic, but I want to talk about it anyway. I get sometimes really anxious when my dad calls or texts me. Why? Like what? Why? You know? There's probably lots of reasons. Lots of things are like moving through my head all at once, but I don't think I want to talk about them. I think I want to keep it. Jack, what do you want to talk about? I don't know. I could talk about anything really. Talk about how this audio is probably fantastic. Oh my God. Money in the Bank audio sounds so good. Sounds so good. Sounds so good. Sounds so good. This audio sounds so good. Hey. All right. Should I include like Interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. We have 5 minutes left in the episode. We have reached the 5 minute left marker. I've gone silent because, simply put, that's what I've gone. I am working on my stamina as a 1 hour a day kind of guy. I think it's going pretty well. This is like day 3, day 4, day 5. I'm not sure. But I'm excited to have this episode wrapping up. I'm excited to put it out. I feel really good about it. And I think that I am going to post this to my social media because, simply put, it's interesting. You know, it's kind of like therapy. It's like I like the opportunity. I like the space. I like the silence. I like to talk, you know, and I think that there's lots of people that would like to listen because I know I like to listen sometimes. Um, it's a supply and demand situation. The world's a big place. The internet's even bigger. So, you know, why not? Why not begin? Why not start? Could this be Sam? I doubt it. Wouldn't it be cool if he walked in with 3 minutes left? He's probably in Chapel Hill. Sam is my roommate. I'm not supposed to name drop people on the episode, but, you know, I'm not supposed to do lots of things. Life. Life is worth living. Okay, should I sing a song? I'm going to sing something from Post Malone's Beer Bongs and Bentley album. Came out in 2018, I believe. Never know when someone's going to try and take my life. I've been sleeping with the 45 like every night. In the whip I pray to God I don't see flashing lights. Goddamn, they right behind me. And I wake up every day. I wake up every day with this anxiety. And they know where I stay. Come alone at my place. And they following me. Too many walls I wanna fall on the kitchen. Even family and friends started switching. Ever since I got that check, been a mission. Eyes open, I'm sleeping, I'm watching you. Where people wanna go, you can't trust no one. Tell me why I can't get no relief. I can't get no, yeah. Wondering when they'll come for me. A paranoid man makes paranoid plans. I'll do what I can, but it's out of my hands. Struggling just to find my peace. I think for today's Instagram reel, I'm going to sing. I think I'm going to plug this microphone in and I'm going to sing. Yeah. Candy paint with the white on top. Lambo doors or the woo up drop. If you busy plotting on what I got, kick in your door and swat you thought. $100,000 on the tabletop. Half price my whip, same price my watch. Got no jumper, but I ball a lot. Bitch, I'm young Stony, I do what I want. Didn't know that was your girl when she gave me top. Kick out the roof, said thanks a lot. Goddamn, I love paper like I'm Michael Scott. I can do things that your man cannot. Swag boy coming out, man, I'm hot. Everybody say that I gotta be stopped. Even though my final form ain't unlocked. I'm so ahead of you, motherfucker. How you comprehend? How you comprehend, but you ain't understanding. Baby, I'm a boss. I got 20 dancing. Oh. What should I sing? What should I sing? What should I sing? What should I sing? I don't know. Should I freestyle? Make it up? Should I do a cover? I think people do covers all the time. Oh, I'm like excited. So Instagram is different because I know people see it. I get like, well, that's not true. That's not necessarily true. I actually think that there's like 1,000 people that follow me, and I think like genuinely less than I don't know. I have to look it up, but I think it's like less than 10% of my followers actually see every reel. But regardless, I am yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'm sick of like vlog. I'm sick of like I don't think I should be using my 3 minutes on Instagram for. Oh yeah, this is what I'm definitely gonna do today on Instagram. I'm sick of using my 3 minutes to just like kind of vlog because I already talk about my day for an hour on this, keeping it real, and I already do a 10-minute of what is essentially a vlog on YouTube. So it kind of feels like repetitive and. I don't want to say, not authentic. I can say that because like at the end of the day, like. This is what I want it to be. And if I don't want it to be that way, then I don't want it. Okay, this episode's over. Thank you much for submitting. Your boy's out. Peace.